Hey, in this video, I want to show you the exact Instagram ad strategy that made $208,000 in 90 days, starting from June, ending on 12th of September. And we did that by spending less than $30,000 on ads, so that's almost a 10x return. And as you can see, in June we did 29,000 in cash collected and 51K in revenue. In July we spent 7.5 grand and made 70 back. In August, very similar. And in the first 12 days of September, we made 24K revenue. And let me show you even more proof. So right here is, for example, July, all the numbers from July, as you can see, August, all the numbers from August, and the first 12 days of September. And in this video, I want to show you what we did when it comes to getting the attention, nurturing those people, and converting them. Because this is what we exactly did with my client Dylan. And if you want, I highly recommend checking his testimonial right here on my page, so you can see that all of those numbers are actually real. And in this video, I want to break down for you the entire funnel and what actually happened step by step. We're gonna be breaking down how we actually got attention, then how we nurture those people, and at the end, how we actually converted them into money in our pocket. So let's get started. So first, the attention. So we had three main vehicles when it comes to getting people in. The first one, and probably the most prominent one, is profile visit ads, and I'm gonna break in a second the actual copy behind this ad. Also, top of the funnel YouTube, and I'm gonna talk about what's the difference between top of the funnel YouTube and actually more of a middle funnel or bottom of the funnel YouTube that we also made with Dylan, and at the end, top of the funnel organic, that to be honest with Dylan, we didn't push that much, but I'm also gonna break down how to actually do it. So let's start with top of the funnel YouTube. So the difference between YouTube videos that are more top of the funnel, meaning that the main purpose of them is to get the most reach, the most attention, the most views, is this right here. So first of all, we actually check all the competitors of Dylan, and we saw that this title right here, right? It's boring, but this is how dropshippers actually get reach, goes viral over and over again. We actually saw, using the vidIQ extension, that this is always the outlier. So all we did is we take this concept, we also take the actual thumbnail behind this video, and we create this video. So as you can see, the title right here, it's almost the same. It's boring, but it's how you actually get reach in e-com, right? So the only difference right here is instead of using the keyword dropshipping, that I am sure if we actually used, we would get more views. We use the word e-com because Dylan actually is not a dropshipper. He hates the business model. So we needed to make this change. But even though the title is different, and of course the thumbnail is visually very similar to the one that we copied, it still performed incredibly well. As you can see, it is an outlier, and it's only been a few days and it's already almost at 500 views, getting us probably few qualified leads coming and actually booking a call. Another example of that is actually the VSL that we did for Dylan. So I'm gonna break this down a little more later, but just to show you the actual results. As you can see, 3K views, 2.4K more than usual, right? So this actually works, and this video was specifically based on this video right here from Jordan Welch, and as you can see, even the thumbnail is incredibly similar, and this is how we actually make sure that every single time when we post a video like that, even though we change what is actually inside of it, because we package it the same way, it will always perform that well. So this is how we created top of the funnel YouTube. Now, when it comes to top of the funnel organic, this is even easier. What you do is you create a list of 5 to 10 competitors in a specific niche, and then you use this Chrome extension that basically sorts the videos from most viewed. And what you do is when you go to, let's say, 10 competitors, you sort the top 25 because this is what the free version actually allows you to do that, but it's definitely worth paying for the premium one. But even if you do on the free one, you will get about 250 videos from those competitors. You just go and take the 5 best ones and you create a list. You will have about, let's say, 50 videos there. And what you do is you study them and then you copy the ones that you actually feel like are good for you, and you can add something on top of them to even make it better. So this is what we did when it comes to the short form organic content. We didn't focus a lot about this with Dylan, to be honest, but I have a different video if you're interested in that, a case study of how we scared Marcel Stam, right, this handsome guy right here, from 30 to 100K followers in just 60 days using purely organic content, and as you can see, having multiple videos past millions of views. So if you're interested in that, make sure to check it out somewhere right here. And going back to the attention, the last and perhaps the one that we focus the most is actually the ads. And as I said, we spent on ads during that period almost $30,000, and we made a big return on them. So this is how we actually did them. So this is the exact script from this ad. So as you can see, it starts with a clear desired outcome and a pain point. So a desired outcome is if you are starting your e-com journey, right? So this is what they actually want to do. And you are tired of watching other people launch successful brands, post their ways, and you are still stuck in the same place. This is a big pain point in that niche. Let me introduce you to a unique mechanism. Then we say a step-by-step system. So you basically map out what the rest of the video is going to be about. I used to go from think loss, working for minimum wage. So we showcase a little more of like, okay, I actually been in your shoes. And this is basically showing authority to building an e-com brand that made me over 25 million. And of course, we show all the proof right there. Then we break down the components of what is actually the unique mechanism about. And at the end, we just do a call to action to drop a follow. So this ad is very broad, but the whole purpose with that is that it needs to actually speak to the ICP, be valuable to them, so they actually like and enjoy it and watch it all the way through, and then drop a follow. If you manage to do that, you will get their follow. And if they touch their account, we will make sure to actually reach out to them. So let's get into that. So all of this attention, profile visit ads, top of the funnel YouTube, and top of the funnel organic goes straight into his Instagram page. And now 3 things will happen. The first one is someone will drop a follow, okay? And when someone drops a follow, a setter will reach out to them. He will ask them a triage question, usually in a pre-recorded voice note. And a triage question, by the way, is a question that a person can clearly say yes or no, and that basically qualifies them. A triage question that we use, for example, with Dylan is, are you here just for the content itself, or are you looking to start your own e-com brand? If they say yes, we basically follow the script and get them booked. So we have also a Zapier automation at the end, so we can see if the person is qualified or not. We, of course, have different questions in the calendar that I'm going to cover later in this video. But if someone says no, then it goes into the nurturing phase. So let's not talk about it right now, but let's talk about the 2 other things. The second is basically that they interact, and the same process happens, right? So it means that they either like the post, commented, maybe DM'd Dylan, and the same process happens. But also what can happen is that they see the ad, right? They go into the profile, and then they click this deep link in his bio. And the deep link goes straight into his YouTube and a YouTube VSL, right? And what will happen is either people will then binge watch other videos of Dylan, which is very beneficial because if someone watches the whole pile of content that we prepared for them, they will be so nurtured and so eager to actually reach out to us that this is a win-win. But what most often happens is someone will watch the VSL, and then the only call to action is message me on Instagram. Then click that, they message, they are inbound, and we can easily send them. So that covers the first step, attention. Let's now talk about nurturing. So there's a few different things we did to nurture those people. So first of all is middle and bottom of the funnel content. Middle of the funnel content, instead of talking very broadly or following trends, what we do is we just specifically provide as much value as possible. So those are the videos where Dylan showcases his expertise in e-com. And bottom of the funnel videos is everything connected to client results and proof. So this can be, for example, how he helped one of his clients make $60,000 in the first 90 days with his e-com store. It also can be a clip from a client interview, nicely edited, that showcases the transformation. And the last thing that we do on Instagram is actually story sequences. I don't have a screenshot of that currently, but basically we run those story sequences where we either nurture people or we actually do a call to action. And this basically makes sure that on Instagram, what happens is that people constantly stay in our ecosystem. So they constantly have Dylan in mind, and sooner or later, they will actually be converted if they are the ICP. The second, let's say, thing is actually running retargeting ads. So a retargeting ad is very different to the profile visit, where we are not pushy, where we just do a call to action to drop us a follow. Because in the retargeting ad, we already know that the person is probably interested, right? Because he had some previous interactions with Dylan, what happens is that we have a very direct ad. So this ad, for example, covers an actual case study of one of the clients of Dylan, again, that did like 118,000 or something crazy like that in a week. It breaks down what he did with him, and then has a hard call to action to DM him a specific word for a full breakdown. And of course, the full breakdown goes straight into the VSL right here. So hard call to action, DM, and of course, when someone DMs us, we know that this is like a very warm lead, so we book them on the call. And the last thing that we do is we, of course, have a lot of middle and bottom of the funnel YouTube content. So this is an example of middle of the funnel content, I would say. Because Dylan runs podcasts, it makes it actually pretty simple to do that because he has amazing guests. We just make sure that the podcast is packaged well enough to get a lot of reach. And this does the job of, I would say, middle of the funnel. And bottom of the funnel is, of course, all the client interviews. And let me show you how even bottom of the funnel content can work incredibly well when you are doing it right. So this is the video, as you can see. It's an amazing outlier once again, more than 800 more views than usual. And if I go into the details, this is what actually made this perform incredibly well. Because if I'm gonna find the inspo about this video right here, I'm gonna show you it right here. But basically the title is How Name Made a Specific Number of Money. And this is something controversial with 0 ad spend. And again, the video that we copied this from had the same exact title, meaning that of course it had a different number, it had a different, let's say, unique controversial thing right here. But because we use that, and this is actually true because this lady actually managed to do that without ad spend, she just like constantly went viral on TikTok. This performed incredibly well, literally printing us money because 1.3K views on a bottom of the funnel client interview Like it's incredible. Let me just put it like that. And in all of those videos, of course, in podcast, we have a call to action, basically in the first 15 minutes of the video. And in here at the end, we do a call to action, or actually the person does a call to action to make people check this description. And in the description, of course, is a link in bio to what? Message me on Instagram, and the person is being booked once again. And the true thing is actually, the more we go into the nurturing phase, usually the better quality of leads. Because like 20% of people will actually take the step after this and book a call straight up after seeing the ad, maybe checking out the VSL. Those people, okay, there are like a lot of them, but this is the 20%. 80% of people need all of this right here, need this nurturing. And usually the sales cycle is much longer there, but this is what is needed to actually win and actually get those huge returns like we did right here. And after all of this, after getting the attention, nurturing it, we go straight into the conversion. And we had two main ways of actually converting people. The first one is just using ManyChat. So as I, for example, showed in the retargeting ads, right? Someone comments the word, a resource is getting sent to them, and then we start a conversation from that, which basically means manual setting. And of course, this one right here actually probably did 90% of the heavy lifting. And again, we ask the triage question. If it's yes, then we book them and we have a Zapier automation. If no, we actually go into weekly follow-ups. And what it means is we just get people to actually keep getting nurtured. And how we do it is we just send them more videos. We, for example, say to them that, oh, I just had this video recorded and a lot of people just like you said that it was pretty valuable, so just take a look at it, and we nurture their nurture basically until they either say that, okay, this is like enough, I'm good, or they schedule a call with us. And when someone is closed, this is what happens. So of course we have the usual spreadsheet where we track everything, starting on cost per lead, then cost per conversation, right? Then actual call schedule, show up rate, close rate, so we can have those numbers at the end. And what happened is when someone schedules a call right here, what happens is, as you can see, we have qualified appointments and unqualified appointments. And we judge them on this right here. So we have 4 questions. The first one is, of course, do you currently have an e-com brand? Yes or no. Then if you have, what's the name of it, or link to your website, stuff like that. Then right here we have 0 out of 10, how ready you are to scale or start your e-com. So basically like the need question, because we follow the BAND framework. Then is the budget question. So how much do you have to start your e-com brand? And basically we position that as a how much money you have for ads, equipment, all of those things. And there's like 4 options there, I think. It's like less than 1,000, 1,000 to 3K. So everything above 1,000 we actually take, because the program costs 6,000. So if they have right here, they can definitely afford the payment plan. But of course, those aren't the ideal leads, right? The ideal ones is those right here. So for example, 5 to 10, or we have an option 10 and above. This is who you really want to speak to. The next question is, do you have any partners that are involved with your business or need to be on a call? And the last one is, can you commit to a chat without any distractions? And this is how it is done. And based on those things, we either qualify or dequalify people. Now, if someone is unqualified, we basically treat them as long-term follow-ups. So once in a while, we'll send them some good performing marketing materials or stuff like that. And we catch up with them every once in a while, seeing if something changed. And if someone is qualified, of course, he's getting closed by our closer, Lylan. And this is the whole thing, right? The exact Instagram ad strategy that made us $208,000 in 90 days, spending less than 30K on ads, so a 9x return roughly. And this is it, as you can see. And if that was valuable, what I can do for you is I can do a free audit of your content and also your funnel, so you can see your biggest bottlenecks, and I will also tell you how you can actually fix that so you can have results like that. All you need to do is just check the description, click the link to my Instagram, and DM me that you would like me to do that. So thanks for your time, and I will see you in the next one.